Welcome, my people. This is another Attilla Advising video. We're going to call this one, What is Inflation? Does anybody question why the prices of almost everything is skyrocketing right now? If you've guessed inflation, you guessed right. Inflation is when the prices of goods and services rise due to more money being circulated in the system. This drives up demands for goods, and in return, prices will rise. We've seen record-breaking inflation at 7%. Some say 10, and personally, I think it's even higher. I think the numbers are manipulated to quiet down the world's economists. Due to the lavish spending of our government and the need for the Federal Reserve to print more money, we are seeing prices rise. The government uses monetary policies to keep inflation at a 2% rate. That, in saying that, they believe that stealing 2% of our wealth is good for our economy, which is, in some eyes, it is. Due to this not being financial advice and me not being a financial advisor, I like to present both sides of the argument. When there is 2% inflation, that means the government will print enough money that every year people who have their assets denominated in dollar bills, such as a house, is guaranteed to see a 2% increase in their asset. That's why people buy real estate and hold on to it, because they are expecting that 2% yearly increase in value and or whatever inflation is at the moment. The other argument is every year my dollar is worth 2% and or whatever inflation is less than the year prior, because the government will print enough money that the price will rise of all goods and services, making my spending power less. Ironic, isn't it? This is the reason financially literate individuals search to find inflation hedges, such as silver, gold, and if you want to learn more about silver and gold, I have a video about those, and commodities like oil, which are good hedges of inflation. The goal is to denominate your reserves into assets that give you a better return than on your money than the rate of inflation. As I stated earlier, inflation is around 7%. I challenge all my listeners, to go and see what your bank gives you annually to custody your money. Far from 7% and even far from 2%. So, in saying that a bank is not a good hedge of inflation, it should not be used to custody your reserves. I personally have all my reserves diversified in 3 inflation hedges. Considering all the stimulus and all the money printing that is going on around the world, I advise every one of my listeners to start looking at the financial landscape of our country and seeing that inflation, maybe even hyperinflation, is on the horizon. And to protect ourselves, we need to buy and acquire more inflation hedges. It's fine to have cash on hand ready to deploy for opportunities to make money, but when your money is lying idle or even in a bank account where you are not beating the rate of inflation, many economists like to say ever since Nixon took us off the gold reserve, savers have been losers, because inflation is decreasing the value of our money. These are just more gems dropped to my beloved listeners at Attilla Advising. We got everything you need, like a corner store. Like, subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. We out.